from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
When my wife and I got married after both graduating law school, we didn't have two nickels to rub together. Ultima had to give me her gas card just to drive home. We never could have imagined that one day we would have the largest injury firm in the world and $25 billion in money collected and counting. As good Catholics, we had 4 children fast. They all work in the firm today. Our family protecting yours. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. But our greatest gift was years away, grandchildren. Today we have 6 and counting. It's the greatest joy that we have ever experienced. I think about them all day long. Our family promises to protect your family should you need us. Call us. It's easy. Visit forthepeople.com and make sure you hug your grandchildren. God's final gift to us. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hello, this is Jan at Toyota.
Hi, Jan. Is now a good time to get a new Toyota for summer?
It is. We like to say your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer.
Yeah, I'm a pet sitter and business is way up as people enjoy their new Toyotas.
Right, your summer starts here.
Oh, that's the Walker's pet parrot, Mr. Knowles.
That's me.
They packed up their new Corolla and took a trip to a national park.
Well, through June 2nd, everyone can join in on the summer fun with a great selection of Camrys, 4Runners, and more.
Yeah, the Johnsons strapped a canoe onto their new Grand Highlander and went out to the lake.
Shh, quiet, Lou.
And Mark and Sarah loaded their gear into their Tundra and went scuba diving.
Oh, no, stop. Sebastian, Goldie is not dinner. Fish for dinner. No, stop. This is bad.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Good luck.
Right, your summer starts here.
That's right, Mr. Knowles. Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer with a new Toyota, but it all ends June 2nd. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Toyota, let's go places.
Summertime savings are heating up at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale. Right now, we have 1.9% financing on some of our most popular models, like the 2025 Mazda CX-50.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda. Mark Mazda. 24-month term. Credit plus $998.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
A very simple formula last night for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Their MVP candidate, some excellent starting pitching, and a great defensive play led to a series-opening victory. That, the chaotic nature of the NBA draft lottery, and how good does Kyler Murray need to be in 2025? All of that and more on the menu today for the Tuesday edition of the Lunch Break. Welcome in here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert here with you for the next 2 hours. We got producer Evan behind the glass, pushing all the buttons, taking your phone calls, 480-864-1060. You can stream the show on the KDUS AM 1060 app, and you can join us. Watch the video version of the show either on Twitter or on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. So appreciate you joining us here today on the show. Hope you are all having a great start to your Tuesday. We will get started by discussing a very simple formula last night for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
Great starting pitching. Corbin Carroll doing Corbin Carroll things. A bullpen that was able to get the final 6 outs, and a great defensive play from Lourdes Gurriel Jr. There you go. There's your daily special. I recapped the game for you. I hit every beat possible. That's what happened last night as the Diamondbacks take the first game of this 3-game series against the Giants. They beat Justin Verlander 2-1. That's it. Anything else that I missed there, Producer Evan? We can just go to break. We can keep the show moving.
Yeah, let's keep it moving. Segment 2 coming up right now.
I mean, it was very simple last night for this team. Merrill Kelly, the only thing that has derailed him over his last couple of starts have been some cramping issues that he has seemed to put in the rearview mirror. Because how great was he last night for this team? Was excellent once again, specifically the 7th inning of that game. Because let's face it, Torey Lovullo, I think when Corbin Burnes is out there, when Zach Gallen is out there, when Merrill Kelly is out there, he is going to roll the dice. He is going to push his luck right now, especially with no Justin Martinez, especially with no AJ Puck. Torey Lovullo is not going to have the quick hook because I think he is going to trust those 3 starters. You want to put Brendan Pfaadt in there as well. He's going to trust those guys, I think, more to get those last couple of outs than he is the bullpen if the bullpen needs to get 9 outs or 10 outs or 12 outs. I think he's going to trust trying to steal 3 outs or trying to steal 4 outs with his starters, and that is exactly what they did last night. Merrill Kelly goes out there for the 7th. They don't have a lot of offense to show for at that point of the game. They have the 2 Corbin Carroll home runs. That's it. This is a close, contested game. You know it's going to come down to the one question that we have been asking every single day about this baseball team. Do they have the bullpen tonight? That's what this was going to come down to. So stealing 3 outs in the 7th, trusting Merrill Kelly to get out of that jam. It was the pressure-packed situation of that game. 1st and 2nd, 1 out. The Giants threatening to not just tie the game, but to take the lead. And Torey Lovullo didn't go to the bullpen. Said, Merrill Kelly, you're my guy. You're going to get me out of this jam. A strikeout and then a pop-up. He works out of it. The Diamondbacks were not going to score a whole bunch more runs. They showed you that throughout the course of the game. This game was going to be won right then and there. And Torey showed trust in the guy who had been pitching excellent throughout the course of the game. He trusted Merrill Kelly, and that was a brilliant performance, specifically in the 7th inning, considering those circumstances, considering the context of if you give up the lead right there, I think it's all she wrote. I think the game's over. And so instead, Kelly buckles down. He gets those 3 outs that are needed, the extra 2 outs, the strikeout and the pop-up, and he's able to hand it off to a bullpen that, hey, got 6 outs last night.
6 pretty easy outs, to be honest with you.
That's a very important little caveat.
I
6
mean,
pretty easy outs.
They got a clean 9th inning. Very clean. Nobody on. Didn't really have anybody hit the ball too hard, and you'll take it. But, no, I agree with you on the – Torey is at this point where you have to let these starters ride if they have it. Merrill last night was completely in control. And the most impressive part of that start last night was the lack of walks. 8 Ks, didn't walk a single hitter. Really didn't feel like he saw many 3-2 counts, full counts at all. And in that first inning, I think he struck out 3 guys in the first 2 innings looking, which was unbelievable. When
Merrill Kelly is at his best, and truthfully, the only thing that stopped him as of late has been the cramping. It's the only thing that has stopped. Even in the 2 starts that he left with the cramping issue, he was pitching well in those games. And to show you how good most of the Diamondbacks starting pitching has been as of late, this is courtesy of D-Back Stats Info on Twitter. Again, one of our favorite Twitter accounts for Diamondbacks information. From March 27th through May 5th. So again, March 27th all the way through May 5th. The Diamondbacks had 0 starters, 0 starts in which the starter completed 7 innings in a game. May 6th, so the day after that first little sample size from the end of March to the beginning of May 6th through May 12th, or they've had it happen 3 times. Burnes, Kelly, Gallen. If you take out the bad start that Eduardo Rodriguez had last Friday against the Dodgers, since May 6th, the starting pitching for the Arizona Diamondbacks has pitched to a 2.05 ERA, 36 strikeouts, 10 walks, only 9 earned runs allowed.
And this isn't a stretch of the Rockies, the Pirates. It's the Dodgers. This is the Giants, the Phillies, the Mets at home and in New York. This is the gauntlet that we discussed 2 weeks ago and said, this is where you need your starting pitching. And to this point, they're getting it.
And the other reason why they need their starting pitching, the other reason why they need more of these 7-inning performances is, let's face it, last night was good. 6 outs from the bullpen. Shelby Miller back in the closer's role in the 9th inning. We'll touch on that a little bit later on here in the show. You just don't trust these guys on a consistent basis right now. It is a roller coaster every single night. So the less outs you can ask from that group, you're going to have to get, best case scenario, I think, 6 outs every night from your bullpen, right? It's just the way it's going to be. And so if we can limit how many high leverage, high wire acts the bullpen has to get through right now, at least until AJ Puck and Justin Martinez return to this bullpen. I think when those guys are back, you move guys more into roles that they're more comfortable in. And I think you can trust your bullpen to get 9, 10, 12 outs on a more regular basis. Right now, you don't have a margin for error. I mean, that game is 2-1 last night, even after Kelly leaves it in the 7th inning. He gets through 7 innings, and you're still in the back of your mind worrying. This is a 1-run game right now. I need this bullpen to get 6 outs and hold on to a 1-run lead. You went through the range of emotions last night. You were worried when Shelby Miller took that mound in the 9th inning. Willy Adames did get one to the warning track opposite field that for a second I thought had gotten out. I thought the game was tied. And so last night, simple formula. Corbin Carroll's great, 2 home runs. Merrill Kelly's excellent, 7 innings, 1 run, and the bullpen doing its job, getting those 6 outs. And let's talk about Corbin Carroll and the offense that he provided last night. 2 home runs. He leads all hitters in the National League in WAR. He is second in home runs. He's the only player in Major League Baseball that has 5 triples, 10-plus home runs, 30-plus RBIs. He is first in the National League in extra base hits. He is first in the National League in total bases. He is second in the National League in slugging. He is crushing right-handed pitching, 303, a 1099 OPS, 12 home runs, and 23 extra base hits. Corbin Carroll at the top of the lineup is just being the guy that we saw 2 years ago, the guy that we saw in the second half last year, and I would argue he's even better than that to the start of this season. He is the number one guy in this offense. He's the guy that they gave that big contract extension to. He's the guy that won the Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. He is the chaos creator at the top of the lineup who has now found a bit of a power stroke with his now 13 home runs that he has so far this season. Has just been excellent for this team. And I know he had a small little dip there over the last maybe week and a half, but he has been even better than what I think we all thought he was going to be. Because going into the start of this season, I think there was an expectation, changed his swing, found a little bit something there in the second half. You pair those two things together. I don't think we anticipated him struggling the way that he did at the start of last year. We expected him to be better. I don't know if any of us expected this because I think this is the best case scenario, and that might have been unfair to put on Corbin Carroll considering the changes that he was making. But those changes have paid off. He looks like an MVP candidate. He looks like the leader of this offense. He looks like the guy that you put at the top of the lineup and you don't worry about it every single day. He is just the young star that we all thought he was on path to being after his Rookie of the Year campaign in 2023. And last night, he is the source of all of your offense. 2 home runs in this game, 2 solo shots. And that's all you needed last night with how good the Diamondbacks pitching was with Merrill Kelly in the bullpen.
We've talked about Corbin Carroll as kind of a 290 guy that we expect to hit 25 home runs through his career and steal bags and everything. 25 home runs is what he hit his Rookie of the Year campaign. That's, to this point, his highest. He had 22 last year. He has 13, and it's May 13th.
I want to look because Fangraphs has their rest of season projections for all the players. So he's at 13 home runs right now. I don't know the number. I'll look it up here. I don't know what they have for him for the rest of the season. But my early guess is when I pull this up, they're going to project him to clear 30 home runs for the remainder of the season. And I don't know how you couldn't have him going over 30. Again, 13 home runs to start this season. For the rest of the season, Fangraphs projects him to have 20 more home runs. They project him to get to 33. He hit 25 the Rookie of the Year campaign in 2023. He hit 22 last year. He's already at 13. It's May 13th. He may set his single season career home run number, a new career high in home runs. He may hit that by the end of July at this pace. You may have August and September. By the trade deadline, he's going to have 25 home runs.
Yeah. He's going to go to the All-Star break with 20.
And then
the conversation starts.
He's hitting 282 a 356 on base percentage, the 13 home runs, the 30 RBIs, a 2.7 WAR, leads all National League hitters. He's excellent. He has been excellent to start this season.
I'm looking at this, by the way. In 2023, he finished 5th in MVP voting.
The Rookie of the Year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he finished 5th in the MVP voting. And
I've watched both seasons pretty intently. He's way better.
Well, yeah, and all the numbers back that up, right? I mean, he's on pace to beat the WAR number from the Rookie of the Year season. His WRC plus is 30 points higher. His average is 3 points lower, but he's slugging. He slugged 506 in the Rookie of the Year campaign. He's slugging 609 to start this season. His strikeout numbers are actually elevated from the 2023 season, so areas for improvement. But, he drove in 76 RBIs that year. He's at 30 already. I mean, he is going to have – he is on pace to have a career year across the board.
This is the type of year that he's on pace for that defines careers, right?
It's the start of a peak, right?
It's the start of your peak, and they go over what is a 4 or 5 year peak for some of these guys, and we'll see how long Corbin's is. But this was the mountaintop that we had said he could get to. This is not what you expect to see, because that's too much of a expectation, but this is what we had hoped to see when they called him up in 2022 and let him finish the year there. And I'm just so impressed by an approach and how hard he hits the ball, even when he's getting outs. He is consistently barreling up.
Yeah, and after only getting one hit in the Dodgers series, good to see him bounce back and have the 2 big home runs to help contribute. Because right now, this team, it's looking like they're going to finish this 16-game stretch 8-8. They're going to split the 16 games. If they sweep the remainder of this series with the Giants, I think that'll put them at 9-7 for this 16-game stretch, which they sit 5.5 games back right now of the Dodgers. We said at the start of this stretch to keep it at 3.5. They're 2 games short of that right now. And I don't think by any stretch they've played their best baseball, but I don't think they played their worst. I think we're going to look back at this and see some of the missed opportunities, specifically in the Dodger series and perhaps over the next couple of days in this Giant series. But last night, a simple formula, a simple recipe, but one that I think is repeatable for this team. Corbin Carroll as an MVP candidate, Merrill Kelly and the strength of this team being the starting pitching, being able to give you 6 or 7 innings. And last night, the wrinkle to the recipe, the thing that they were able to find that has been the missing ingredient here over the last week or two, the bullpen got the 6 outs. The bullpen did what they needed to do. Want to hear from you today over the course of the program, 480-864-1060. If you want to join us on the phone lines, we've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream as well. When we come back, the NBA draft lottery last night, full of chaos. How does it impact the Phoenix Suns? That's next on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Phoenix. Footprint Center, Saturday, August 2nd. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. It's about to get heavy. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit Shinedown.com.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I'm Mark.
And I'm Colina. We've purchased 2 Fulton homes in the last 7 years. We would never buy anywhere but Fulton homes.
We actually tried other builders, looked at them, and nothing compares to Fulton quality. We're repeat builders with Fulton. It's been an amazing process, and we would never go anywhere else after experiencing it. The process working with the Fulton team was great. They cared. We got updates, and you could just tell how much they were excited, almost as much as we are. Fulton is so good at the homes they build. The quality you get is just really unmatched. They continue to care about us as a client, even though we've now finished the sale. I admired their communities because they were always a step above. The amount of landscaping, the way it was always groomed. They add the features that you want to be outside, you want to be in the community. And that matters to us. We want to be outside, not just in the home, and all the amenities are just amazing. We would buy Fulton Homes again in a heartbeat. I don't think we'd consider anybody else.
Fulton Homes. You're proud to own, we're proud to build.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. When the Milwaukee Bucks were knocked out of the first round of the playoffs, once again, Giannis Antetokounmpo was immediately asked about his future and where his head was at. I said at that time, that was not the time to address that, but that time would be coming soon enough. Apparently, that time has arrived in the form of a Shams bomb. Shams Charania is reporting that Giannis, for the first time in his career, is open-minded about exploring other opportunities. Because of course he is. He should be. He's been incredible for Milwaukee. The Bucks have been great for him, but the guy's made it very clear he will not be satisfied with that first ballot Hall of Fame career if it ends with only one ring. And given that Dame Lillard blew out his Achilles, and they're without their first-round draft picks for years, and their roster is depleted, if this guy does stay in Milwaukee, that's exactly how that big dude is going to end his career, with only one ring. So let the bidding begin, because I just don't see how this dude ends his career where it started. I'm Jim Rome. The basketball playoffs are here on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on the action. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROME. Get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
O'Reilly. You need parts? We got parts. Product availability? Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select brake pads for $10 more, or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or import direct pads for just $20. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Last night, the NBA draft lottery took place ahead of some NBA playoff action. And while there was some chaos on the court in these games, it was the chaos of the NBA draft lottery that everybody is talking about still today, because the Dallas Mavericks went from a 1.8% chance of landing the number 1 pick to now holding the number 1 overall pick. They jumped 10 spots to claim the top spot in the NBA draft. It is the biggest jump in lottery history. Now, that in and of itself is chaotic, considering it's the Dallas Mavericks who were at the center of some NBA controversy with the Luka Doncic trade and the can of worms that opens up. We'll get there. Producer Evan was just ready to turn his microphone on and talk about this. Don't worry. We will talk about the NBA draft lottery, and it's wondering if it's on the up and up. That's what I'll say. We'll get to that. Don't worry. At some point, we will talk about whether or not the NBA draft lottery is rigged. But after Dallas goes to the number 1 spot, it's San Antonio at the number 2 spot. It's Philadelphia at the number 3 spot. None of those teams had the top odds to get the number 1 overall pick, yet they're picking 1, 2, and 3. And it has forced us to all jump into action today. Like the Batman signal up in the sky. Everybody has jumped into action today now that Dallas is picking number 1, San Antonio is picking number 2, and Philadelphia is picking number 3, because all of us are jumping into action to suggest the trades that Dallas, San Antonio, and Philadelphia can now make because they hold the top 3 picks. And everybody is saying this is the get out of jail free card for Dallas. They can use this to trade for Giannis. They can use this to trade for Devin Booker, whose name came up this morning. Just put a pin in that. We'll hold that for a little bit later on. But San Antonio using it to jump into the Giannis sweepstakes. Everybody is looking at this good fortune that has landed upon the state of Texas with their 2 basketball teams picking number 1 and number 2, or 2 of their basketball teams picking number 1 and number 2 as the golden ticket. Like this is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the golden ticket for them to land a superstar. Now, mind you, Dallas could just stay at number 1 and take Cooper Flagg. But instead, everybody wants to rush to just go trade for Giannis, or go trade for Devin Booker, or go trade for Maxey. Make a big trade, make a big splash. Instead of just staying in the spot and picking a young superstar to build around Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis with. The possibilities that have sprung into action today after what we saw last night are endless. The possibilities are endless. And then there's the Phoenix Suns and their role in all of this. Because we were watching the draft lottery last night to make sure one thing didn't happen. The one thing we all didn't want to see last night was Houston being in Dallas's spot. Houston getting the good fortune of moving up a bunch of spots and picking number 1 overall. Because Houston had the Suns ping pong balls last night. And Houston went into the night 9th in the odds. They moved down 1 spot. They are now picking 10th in the NBA lottery, or the NBA draft, in a couple of months. And now I wonder aloud to all of you right now listening to the sound of my voice, is Houston more inclined to trade their pick now? Is Houston more inclined to dangle that 10th overall pick out there in a Kevin Durant trade? We'll give you your pick back. You'll get the number 10 overall pick, because Houston's got a lot of young players on their roster. Not sure if their area of upgrade, if they do choose to go down that path to make an upgrade, I don't think it's going to be by drafting somebody with the 10th overall pick. They're going to dangle that out there for Giannis, for KD, potentially for Devin Booker, for any other superstar that they could envision becoming available that they may want to add to their team. You pick number 1, you pick number 2. Not so sure you want to give that pick up. You pick number 10, you're probably more inclined to listen. You're probably more inclined to let that pick go. And if you're the Phoenix Suns, what does this do if you are to match up with Houston for a potential Kevin Durant trade? So these are the questions I have coming out of last night. 3 of them to be exact. I'm sure there's more, but these are the 3 I wrote down. Is Houston more inclined to move the pick in a Kevin Durant trade? What other new possibilities open up for the Suns? Because Jay Williams on ESPN's Get Up this morning, and we'll touch more on this in hour number 2 of the program, directly invoked Devin Booker's name as a potential trade candidate for Dallas now that they have the number 1 pick. We'll discuss the merits, how likely that is. We'll discuss whether or not the Suns should even consider that. All of those hypotheticals we'll tackle a little bit later on in the show. But what new possibilities open up for the Suns? Why do I say this? Sam Quinn, CBS Sports, wrote a story. NBA mock trades, 5 possible post-lottery deals as Giannis KD move for top picks, another Lakers-Mavs swap. And one of the trades that Sam throws out there is a trade that would send Kevin Durant to the Philadelphia 76ers for Paul George and the number 3 overall pick. Now, do I think that's going to happen? No, I do not. Do I think the Suns should be eager to take on Paul George in the remaining 3 years of that contract? No, I do not. But do you see that by teams that we were not expecting to pick in the top 3 of the draft, picking in the top 3 of the draft, everybody springs into action. And they have their hot takes and they have their trade proposals ready to go. So that's what people want to suggest publicly. Privately, what options open up for the Phoenix Suns? And my third question is, what new possibilities open themselves up for other teams. Because could Giannis to Dallas now all of a sudden get some legs? Giannis to San Antonio, does that get some legs? Because if I'm Dallas and I'm San Antonio, two different teams in two different points in their championship window. Dallas, it is win now. It is, we've got Anthony Davis. We have Kyrie Irving. We want to win in 2025. We want to win in 2026. We want to win immediately. The present is our championship window. You got a golden ticket last night. Do you dangle that golden ticket out there to get Giannis to build the big three that you so desperately wanted to build if you're Nico Harrison? That is what he was trying to do. It's what he is trying to do. You had a 1.8% chance. What do you take with that 1.8% chance? Because you cashed in that lottery ticket. Cooper Flagg is viewed as a can't-miss generational prospect. But if that first overall pick could get sent to Milwaukee for a package for Giannis, if he truly is considering leaving Milwaukee and leaving the Bucks, do you now trade that golden ticket that then got you the number one pick? Do you trade it for a sure thing? Do you trade it for a superstar like Giannis? And the same can be said for San Antonio. They've got more younger players. They're at the start of their window. They've got the number 2 pick. But could that be the centerpiece of a deal to land Giannis? And if I'm either of those teams, you know what I'm thinking today? I woke up yesterday morning not expecting that I was going to pick number 1 and number 2. This is fool's gold. I'm playing with house money right now. And the worst thing you can do with house money is try to keep that money on the table and try to double it, triple it. The best thing you can do, the smart thing that you can do, is you take that house money and you stick it in your pocket. And taking the number 1 or number 2 overall pick and trading it for an established superstar, whether that's Giannis, whether that's KD, whether that's any other superstar that could potentially become available this summer. That's the sure thing. That's taking the house money and putting it in your pocket. Because Cooper Flagg could be great. He could be. I know Giannis is great. And yesterday, I don't know if I had the assets to get Giannis. Today, I've been gifted a golden ticket. And this directly impacts the Phoenix Suns because Giannis's potential availability is going to muddy the waters for their pursuits of a KD trade. So the NBA fueled the fire of the draft lottery is rigged conversation last night. They fueled the fire of the rumor cycle that the NBA constantly finds itself in. And for the Phoenix Suns, Houston moving down a spot was helpful last night. But boy, Dallas and San Antonio sitting at the top with the top 2 picks and the ultimate trade chip to potentially land a big superstar like Giannis, like a Devin Booker, could very much alter their summer plans. Coming up on the other side of the break, how well does Kyler Murray have to play for the Cardinals in 2025? We'll evaluate it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. Stevie Nicks. One special night, October 7th, PHX Arena.
Would you love to love her? I will pray to
Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Stevie Nicks. Live at PHX Arena.
Memorial Day mega sale is on at Little Dealer Little Prices. Get a new Forest River Westbrook from $13,995. Plus, veterans, military, and first responders receive a free camping package with purchase. Shop now at littledealer.com. Discount valid on in-stock RVs camping package for eligible buyers. Not combinable with other offers. See dealer for details. Ends May 31st, 2025.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hi, Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Hey, it's Austin Clark, owner of Moxie Pest Control. Did you know there's over 1,000 pest control companies in Arizona? So why is Moxie the highest and most reviewed pest control company in Arizona? Because at Moxie, we put people first, and we believe in paying it forward. That means kindness every time. It means showing up on time, going the extra mile, and treating your home like it's our own. And by taking a little extra time in our service, we make a few friends along the way. Our field experts are the kind of people you'll feel good having around your spouse, your kids, and your pets. Yes, we've trained them to solve pest problems better, but also to care more, smile more, and earn your trust at every visit. We offer same-day services in most cases, and we'll even give you 50% off your first service when you call. Call 888-MOXIE-10. That's 888-MOXIE-10. Moxie Pest Control, the highest and most reviewed pest control company in Arizona.
The summertime savings are heating up at Scottsdale Mitsubishi. Come check out a brand new 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage for just $15,995.
The name to remember? Scottsdale Mitsubishi. Scottsdale Mitsubishi, another Mark Auto Group dealership.
Fulton Homes is bringing legendary Fulton quality back to the West Valley. Explore 4 exceptional West Valley locations with more standard features and thousands of ways to personalize your home. Find out why people buy Fulton Homes over and over again. Fulton Homes, you're proud to own, we're proud to build.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Welcome back into the show. Lunch break. Chris Schubert with you. KDUS AM 1060. Hey, if you're listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app, or you're streaming us online on the KDUS website, KDUS1060.com, you listen for your chance to win 4 tickets to the Diamondbacks when they take on the Rockies Saturday, May 17th at Chase Field. Make sure you get there early. You can pick up the replica home jersey at the game and stick around afterwards for an awesome post-game fireworks show. Get your tickets at dbacks.com/SGT. We're giving away a 4-pack if you're listening either on the app or streaming us online, but you got to be registered and logged in order to be entered, in order to win. So we've got that. A couple more days, I think, on that giveaway before we will pick the winner, and you'll be going to the game on Saturday against the Colorado Rockies. Was reading a story this morning on the SI Cardinals page by Richie Bradshaw. It's titled Projecting the 2025 Stats for Cardinals Quarterback Kyler Murray. Kyler has been the center of every single conversation we've had about the expectations for this team in 2025. We have said that as Kyler goes, this team is going to go. I'll spoil something for you. We already have a segment planned for Thursday's show when the schedule gets released. And no, it's not the ever-famous win-loss game. We are doing that. But we already have a segment built out where we want to circle the games on the calendar that we think are most important for Kyler Murray to perform well in. He's the center of everything. Because I know how this team is built. This team is built with a defense that has undergone major surgery, a major renovation project, not just a new coat of paint in the living room. We're knocking down walls. We're running new electrical, a complete makeover of this defense. I also know that last year, this offense predicated on running the football. Kyler Murray, a complementary piece to this offense. But you and I both know that in 2025, this version of the NFL, you got to have a quarterback who can win you football games. You have to have a quarterback who can elevate above everybody else. I'm going to ask the resident Philadelphia Eagles fan on the show who's doing victory laps every day that his team won a Super Bowl. Your team last year predicated a lot on the guy in the backfield wearing 26, running all over the place, having us question what an MVP is in the NFL. No?
Yeah.
Still needed Jalen Hurts to make some big throws. Still needed Jalen Hurts to step up and make big plays, correct?
In the biggest game of the year, Jalen was the reason they won that game. The defense was great too, but Jalen was the reason they won that game.
If the Arizona Cardinals are going to meet our expectations, and we have said they have to make the playoffs this season, those are the expectations. Kyler Murray can't just be a passenger. Kyler Murray at times on this road trip is going to have to get behind the wheel and steer the car. He is not the passenger princess for all 17 weeks of this road trip. He is at times going to have to get out and replace with the other. There are going to be weeks where the defense is going to be behind the wheel of the car. There are going to be weeks where James Conner, Trey Benson, and the running game is going to be behind the wheel of the car. But there are going to be weeks where Kyler Murray is going to have to be behind the wheel of the car. And he's going to be the one looking at the GPS. And he's going to be the one that's going to have to get off the one highway and make sure he gets on the other highway so that this team can still follow the GPS and hit their destination. It's going to be a team effort. Kyler Murray is going to play a significant role. And so when I saw this story today predicting his stats for 2025, I found it interesting. And Richie goes through the pass numbers for Kyler, what his averages have been, and comes up with projections for passing yards, for touchdowns, and for interceptions. And this is where he ends his conclusion. His final prediction is 3,500 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. Now, in our morning meeting today, I shared this story and I shared this topic. And I kept my opinion to myself because I always like to see what producer Evan's immediate reaction is to a story. Because then I know if he has the same reaction as I do, and then I know we've got something. Or if we disagree, I know we've got something. So I shared these numbers with you. And the first thing that producer Evan said to me today, when I read those numbers out to him, when I put the story up on our big screen where we look at different topics, he said, "That's not going to be good enough." You said to me, "Is that going to be enough?" And that was exactly the reaction I had. 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Just looking at those numbers, that's not a playoff team. That's not a playoff quarterback. That's not a team that's going to win enough football games to make the postseason. But we took it a step further. I looked at where those numbers would sit in the NFL last year. 3,500 yards would be outside of the top 15 quarterbacks. I think we said it would be 20th. The 20 touchdowns would be around 15 last year in the NFL. The interceptions, 14 interceptions, would be fourth most. Only 3 quarterbacks threw more interceptions in a season than Kyler. Across the board, not good enough. Needs to be better. Needs to be more towards his season average. Now, let's pull up Kyler Murray's career season numbers if we can. If you could do that, producer Evan, for me, because my tablet has decided that it wants to freeze right now. But I would venture a guess that when we pull this up, when we look at these numbers, that Kyler Murray, for his average throughout his career, is going to be higher than 3,500 passing yards. His touchdowns are going to be around that, maybe a little bit more than 20. And so the question then becomes, does he have to be better than what he's been in his career? Does he need to be better than taking the best case scenario out of his career numbers? What does this need to look like?
Take a 17-game average throughout his whole career.
What do those numbers look like?
He has 4,042 yards.
So 40-42 on a 17-game average for yardage.
Touchdowns, 24.
Okay.
Interceptions, 12.
So this story has him coming in well below his 17-game average throughout the course of the season.
Really just in the case of yards. I think 24 touchdowns was exactly the number they hit.
They had 20 touchdowns in the story.
20.
So some more touchdowns.
Couple more touchdowns.
2 less interceptions. Two more interceptions.
Yeah.
But 500 more yards.
It would be, and I just, apart from the years he did not play 14 or more games,
okay,
it would be his least touchdowns. It would be the most interceptions.
Okay.
And it would be...
The 3,500 yards has to be low. It has to be low.
It would be in every season he's played at least 14 games. He's ran past that.
Yeah, the 3,500 yards is a very low end of the
But
spectrum.
he's never had a 4,000-yard passing season.
Well, yeah, and then the injuries with the smaller sample size is the reason why the 17-game average comes out to about 4,000. And so the reason why I wanted to bring this up is this is a very pessimistic view of what Kyler is going to be. And I'll tell you right now, if we get this Kyler, if we get 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions,
they'll win 6 games.
Not just that, but if that's the Kyler I get with the best roster he's had in years, I'm good. Move on. I don't think that's the Kyler we're going to get next season. I think we are going to get a Kyler that is closer to his 17-game average. Last season, I don't have the numbers in front of me. Producer Evan, what did he do last season?
Last year, he had 3,800 yards. He had 11 interceptions and 21 touchdowns.
And last year, struggled to gain the chemistry with Marvin Harrison Jr. on a consistent enough basis. Another year of Trey McBride in this offense. A defense that really put this team behind the 8 ball quite a bit. I think he needs to be better than that. 3,800 yards. You told me 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
That's the numbers.
He has to be better than that. I think he has to be better than his 17-game average. I think he has to be 4,100 plus yards. He needs to be 25 plus touchdowns, and 10 interceptions has to be the max. But I think all of those numbers are possible for Kyler Murray.
Let me ask you this question. So let's take his 2 best years, 2020 and 2021.
So the COVID season and then the year after the COVID season.
In 2020, he plays 16 games, throws for 39-71, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Is that good enough?
Is that good enough? I don't think it is.
I don't either. In 2021, plays only 14 games, 3,700, 24 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
Do you have the team's record both of those seasons?
Yes. 8-8 in 2020, 9-5, 2021. 2021 is the wild card game.
So 1 year, his number is good enough to make the postseason, play a wild card game, and then get embarrassed. The other year, 500, and the numbers were close. 500, don't make the playoffs.
And keep in mind, in 2021, he only played 14 games. I don't know what happened.
Missed a couple games throughout the course of the year, if I remember correctly.
But yeah, so he has the 37, 87, 24, and 10. You know, I think he's just a double-digit interception guy. He's a 11 to 12 interception guy. You know, hopefully we can see him surpass 4,000 yards. We've talked about that as being a huge hurdle for him.
And 25 plus touchdowns.
And 25 plus touchdowns.
Always want to hear from you. 480-864-1060 is the phone number. You can also join us on the YouTube live stream. Michael over there says, I think they're saying this because Cards run a lot and will be trusting the defense. I get that. I understand that there's going to be a lean on this defense. There's going to be a lean on this running game. But I'm going to tell you, if this team is going to lean on their running game the way that they did a year ago, they are not going to make the playoffs. They cannot have the training wheels on this offense. They can be a run-heavy team. They can utilize James Conner. He can be a focal point. But guess what? You saw it last year. You saw last year a heavy focus on running the football. Where did it get them? And the defense at times played really well. And so I'm sorry. I think if this team is going to lean into the old school method of building a football team where you baby a rookie quarterback by giving him an excellent defense and running the football and not asking him to do too much, you might be able to have a decent amount of success. I do not think you're going to be able to hit this floor of making the playoffs. They need Kyler Murray they don't need him to be great. They don't need him to be elite. They just need him to be above average.
And for a team leaning on the run game, 14 interceptions is unacceptable.
Can't have that either. You can't gift extra possessions to the team. And so I get it. This team's going to be a defense because they have a defensive-minded head coach. They're going to be a defense-heavy team. They're going to run the football because they have a defensive-minded head coach who's going to want to grind it out. I understand that that's what their identity needs to be. But they can't have these numbers from Kyler Murray. Even if they lean into everything everybody wants, 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, will not get it done. Kyler Murray will not have to be the driver every single week. But I think more than 50% of the time, he's going to have to get out of the passenger seat and be behind the wheel of the car. And if these are the types of numbers, if this is the type of driver that he's going to be behind the car, then I think we're going to have a quarterback crisis next summer for this franchise. But I don't think he's going to hit these numbers. I do anticipate a close to, if not career year for Kyler Murray. We went way over there. We have a quick timeout. When we come back, buy or sell. 5 topics. I have to either buy or sell the take. We'll do it next. It's the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh, my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays, 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Judas Priest and Alice Cooper. The metal gods, Judas Priest. The godfather of shock rock, Alice Cooper. October 22nd, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater with special guest, Corrosion of Conformity. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Presented by 100.7 KSLX, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
The savings are heating up now at Mark Kia in Scottsdale.
Right now, you can lease a brand new 2025 Kia Sportage for just $199 a month for 24 months with $29.99 due at signing.
That's right, a brand new Kia for under $200 a month.
Go to markkia.com to check out our current selection of inventory not affected by future tariff changes.
The name to remember? Mark Kia. Mark Kia. Go to markkia.com for full details. $0 security deposit. Payment plus tax title license $998 doc fee. Offer expires June 2nd, 2025.
Hi, Luis Gonzalez here. Want to bet? Feel the thrill of Casino Arizona with 1,400 of the hottest slots and nonstop table game action. We make winners. No experience necessary. Join us for the best bingo in the valley with daily sessions. Indulge in all-you-can-eat Eagles buffet or enjoy fine dining experience at the award-winning Choya Steakhouse. Enjoy top-notch local entertainment, tribute bands, and viewing parties at CAZ Sports Bar, just off the 101 in McKellips. Casino Arizona, uniquely Arizona.
ASU baseball continues here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils as they look to face off against Grand Canyon University. ASU knows that every game counts as they start the final week of the regular season and are ready to give it their all against the Lopes. The voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, will have the call live. It's ASU versus GCU this Tuesday night. Pregame at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch at 6:30 right here on KDUS AM 1060 and online at KDUS1060.com/Sun Devils.
Welcome back into the lunch break. Chris Schubert here with you. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday. We've got one more hour here. We close hour number 1 of the program. A little buy or sell. So a bunch of topics that I have to react to from producer Evan. And I have to buy or sell these topics. So I'm either in on the take or I'm not in on the take. I'm out. Hard out. Which we have a hard out in 6 minutes, so we got to get on with this.
All right, number 1, Corbin Carroll is the front runner for the National League MVP.
Front runner for NL MVP. Okay, let's be methodical about this. Let's throw out some other candidates. Shohei Ohtani is going to be an obvious one. Which Met do we want to pick? Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, both having great starts to the season. Just put somebody on that list.
Pete on that.
Kyle Tucker, probably somebody we should consider. Anybody else that I'm missing? That's a slam dunk, seat at the table, should be a part of the conversation.
No.
So of those, Pete, Kyle Tucker, Ohtani, Corbin Carroll, front runner? Yeah, you know what? He's the front runner.
I think today he is.
Second in home runs, leads the National League amongst hitters in WAR. He's getting thrown out on the base paths. That's what's hurting his WAR. He's not racking up those stolen bases right now.
Oh,
we got
Tatis,
5.
by the way. is the other name.
See, this is why we do the exercise. This is why we talk through all the names. I would take Carroll over Tatis in an MVP race, though. So front runner, yeah. Corbin Carroll's a front runner for NL MVP.
The NBA draft lottery last night, is it rigged?
100%. Well, bye. I mean, I don't know what else I'm going to add. But of course it's rigged. Frozen envelope, Patrick Ewing.
Do it like the NHL does. Do it in front of everybody.
Cleveland gets the
LeBron
first overall pick when they have LeBron. They get the first overall pick the year after LeBron leaves to go to Miami. Dallas gets the first overall pick after Luka goes to the Lakers.
It was something like, the New Orleans traded Chris Paul to the Clippers. They got the pick. Then they traded Anthony Davis to the Lakers. They got the number 1 pick. And now the Dallas has traded Luka to the Lakers. They got the number 1 pick. Crazy to see that stuff come. Next one. Cardinals rebuild officially over.
The Arizona Cardinal rebuild is officially over. That is the take I'm buying or selling.
Yep.
I am buying this. Here's why I'm buying this. It's go time, baby. It's playoff time, baby. Let's go. You've built a roster. You were given the patience by this fan base for the couple of years that you had to refix this roster. And you were given that, and we all understood it. And we were fine with it. And you've done a great job. Nobody is holding that against you. But year 3 of this coach and this GM, you bet you, it is go time now. So rebuild over. Time for competing. Time for being relevant. Time for being a playoff team. Yeah, it's on. So yes, the Arizona Cardinal rebuild is over. Buying. So we buy Corbin Carroll as the front runner for MVP. We're buying the draft lottery is rigged. We're buying the Cardinals rebuild being over. Spending a lot of money here today on the program.
Number 4, this is the end of this era of Celtics basketball as we know it.
The end of this era of Celtics basketball as we know it. So Jason Tatum picking up what appears to be a really severe injury in his right foot. A pair of really bad injuries last night. You had Jason Tatum go down in the Celtics game, and then you had Cabrera, the third baseman for the Yankees, a gruesome injury. Ankle turned the wrong direction. They didn't even show the replay on the broadcast. That's how bad it was. Some gruesome injuries last night in the NBA. This is an expensive basketball team. It's a team that has won the title already. So it's always easier to strip it down and start selling pieces after you have the title in your back pocket. New ownership in the room that may look at the tab and say, I don't know if I want to pay this. We're going to buy this one as well. Yes, this is the end of this era of Celtics basketball. Now that I said that, they're going to rally back from down 3-1 to make us look foolish. But I will say, yes, this is the end of the era.
All right, let's see if we're buying all 5. The A's are real contenders in the American League West.
The A's.
Currently just a game and a half back. And I said in the American League West. So
I know. But let me go through the rest of the division. It's really hard to buy the Angels ever. The Mariners, I watched that team play last night. They're okay. They don't have a ton of offense.
They stink. They can't score.
They don't have a ton of offense. I just said that. Yeah.
They can't. No, not a ton of offense. They can't score. And they have a fake superstar in center field. He's the most overrated player in baseball.
So that's why you put this in here today. You just wanted to just slander Julio Rodriguez.
No.
You just wanted to go right after him.
No, I love the A's.
Slander. You're in on the A's.
I am.
You have been in on the A's. The A's, a real contender to win the American League West. Can I see this? I need to see the standings. Let me see the standings. Let me see how I feel about it. Mariners are 22-18. They lead the division. A's are 1.5 games back. They're barely above 500. The Astros and Rangers. I mean, the Rangers have some good pitching. DeGrom's been good.
To be honest with you, Seattle's leading the division. I think they have no chance to win this division. I don't even think they're in the conversation.
See, you're putting me in a bit of a bind here because I don't think there's anybody in this division that I'm just going to run to the betting window to say that team's winning the American League West. So are they a real contender? Yeah, because I think everybody's probably a real contender. So 2 days in to buy or sell, I am buying all 5 statements. I'm buying that Corbin Carroll is the front runner to win MVP. I'm buying that the NBA draft lottery is rigged. I'm buying that the Cardinals rebuild is over. I'm buying that this era of Celtics basketball is done. And I guess I'm buying that the A's are a real contender to win the American League West, but more so because the division, I'll use your word, stinks. Division is bad across the board. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Hour number 2, right around the corner. There is a surprise team picking 1 and 2 in the NBA draft. Should it change the Suns' outlook? It's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Pierce the Veil. I Can't Hear You World Tour 2025. Pierce the Veil, live in concert in Phoenix. With Sleeping with Sirens and Beach Weather. Live at Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, June 15th. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
You got the paint job, but now you need the materials fast. Get free same-day or next-day delivery on select PPG paints from the Home Depot. Now that's a pro move. Save time on store runs and get free delivery on small or large orders of select items. Save energy shopping around with PPG's wide assortment of colors and finishes all in one place. And save money with Pro Extra, where you can get up to 20% off paints, primers, and stains through Paint Rewards. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
It starts with a simple order, a cold Dos Equis dressed with salt and lime. But for the salt clinging to the bottle and the lime perched on top, this is the luckiest of unions. As if the universe has swiped right, pairing flavors together with a crisp Dos Equis. This is refreshment designed by fate, blessed by destiny, and served by bartenders. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Right now at Mark Kia, lease a brand new 2025 Kia Sportage for just $199 a month for 24 months with just $29.99 due at
The
signing.
name, remember? Mark Kia? Mark Kia. Go to markkia.com for full details. $0 security deposit, payment plus tax, title, license, and $998 doc fee. Offer expires June 2nd, 2025.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
12 o'clock hour of the lunch break. Chris Schubert back with you here on the show. Hope everyone's having a great start to their Tuesday. We've got one more hour for you here. We'll start by getting back into one of the biggest stories in the sports world today, the Dallas Mavericks and their 1.8% chance to land the number one overall pick, winning the NBA draft lottery. And it has unpacked a chaotic chain of events where everybody is ready to jump in with what trade proposal they think that Dallas can now swing because they have the golden ticket. They have the number one overall pick. And I'll tell you, on the surface, I get it. I'm there with you. If I'm Dallas, if I'm Nico Harrison, I've just been given the get out of jail free card, right? Because the NBA draft lottery, we said in the last segment, we think it's rigged, but let's say it's not for just a second. You made a stupid trade moving on from Luka Doncic. You got only Anthony Davis back in that trade. You did not maximize your return. Everybody wondered how you were going to make this work. And now you got the number one overall pick. So you've got two options now. You're either staying in that spot, drafting Cooper Flagg, and adding him to this core of Kyrie, of Anthony Davis, and trying to win a title in the next 2 years. Or you take this gift from the NBA gods, and that's why people think it's rigged, and it has been passed down to you, the number one overall pick, and now you're going to be able to turn around and take that golden ticket and turn it into an established NBA star. This morning, Jay Williams on ESPN's Get Up throws out there, Dallas trading the number one overall pick for Giannis, for a Devin Booker. I think he threw Tyrese Maxey's name in there as well, but let's focus on the Devin Booker side of this because San Antonio holds the number 2 overall pick. Should now teams that are in more win now windows and don't really want to draft and develop and hold on to young players, they're trying to kind of get a move on with things. Should it change the Suns' potential plans this summer? Should the Suns perhaps reconsider listening to offers on Devin Booker? Now, again, you only are going to do this if it lands you probably the number 1 or the number 2 overall pick. It's the only way you would reconsider this. Let me make my position on this very, very clear. I don't care who's picking number 1 or number 2. I don't care if Dallas calls me up right now and says, we'll trade you the number 1 overall pick for Devin Booker. I am not taking, I'll take that back. I'm taking the phone call. I'm not agreeing to the trade. Not right now. Not this summer. I am more inclined to wait a year, see what this new head coach looks like, see what this new roster looks like, see what this new vision looks like, and then I'll reevaluate. I'll reevaluate next summer. Because you know what I'm definitely going to do this summer? I'm going to sign Devin Booker to that contract extension that he's eligible for. I'm definitely going to add years to the end of that deal. So if I do decide to trade Devin Booker at some point down the road, I have a trade chip that teams don't have to worry about getting a brand new deal for. You're getting years and years of control. I am not trading Devin Booker this summer. I am not adding to the list of things I have to try to accomplish this summer. I've already got a first-time GM that's got to hire a head coach. I have a first-time GM, and not just a first-time GM, a first-time front office executive that has to hire a new coach. A first-time front office executive that has to trade Kevin Durant. A first-time front office executive that has to decide what to do with Bradley Beal, that has to negotiate the 2025 NBA draft, make picks at 29, picks at 52, attack free agency to try to help build this new culture, to build
the alignment,
to set this team on a new chapter. You want to add trading Devin Booker, and you think trading Kevin Durant's going to be difficult. Imagine trying to trade Devin Booker in an environment when Giannis is available, in the same environment that you were trying to trade Kevin Durant. How do you prioritize what trade package goes first? John over on YouTube says, listen to offers for the whole team. You can listen. You can answer the phone. The number 1 overall pick, great. Cooper Flagg would be an awesome player to have. If I trade Devin Booker in the same summer that I trade Kevin Durant, in the same summer that I move on from Bradley Beal, we all agree that's what they're going to do this summer, right? Durant, Beal, gone. You want to add Booker to that mix, and you want to get back Cooper Flagg if you do this trade with Dallas and whatever else they're willing to offer you. You still don't control your own first-round picks, and you now have one guy. You just have Cooper Flagg. That's it. You have Ryan Dunn. You have Oso. That's great. You have Young. You're not going to be good for a couple of years. So guess what? Houston's going to get the ping pong balls again in the future. You are not in a position to blow this up right now. I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news for all of you out there who want them to blow this up. You are not in a position to do so. You do not have control of your own picks. If the Suns had their picks, if they did not have all of these swaps, remember, they're picking 29th. Houston is picking 10th because they have the Suns pick. And the Suns are picking 29th because they were able to get some pick swaps and get some other picks to where they're at least going to have one selection in the 2025 NBA draft. You don't control your destiny. If you're going to blow this up and trade Durant and trade Booker and trade Beal or cut Beal, waive and stretch Beal, if you're going to do all of that, if you're going to make those moves, you're going to do so and completely hit the reset button. And when you do that, it comes with some pain. It comes with some losses. It comes with some really lean seasons. And those lean seasons, you can't do anything with. You get to trade Devin Booker if you choose to do so one time. And the timing has to be right. And I'm sorry, the timing is not right. So I know everybody is waiting for Philadelphia to trade the third pick, San Antonio to move the second pick, all the trade possibilities with 1, 2, and 3. Everybody's ready to jump out of their seat to suggest what these teams should do. You know who it shouldn't involve? It should not involve the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns should not reconsider their position about Devin Booker right now, today. You want to reconsider it in a year? You want to reconsider it after getting a new coach in here, establishing that culture for a year, and seeing if you're on the right track or not? I'm way more on board with that thought process than changing your already preset plans this summer to hold on to Devin Booker. This is not a hard and fast, Devin Booker is going nowhere. I'm never open to the idea of trading Booker. Let me make that very clear. But right now, my answer is no. Dallas wants to dangle the golden ticket in front of you. San Antonio wants to dangle the golden ticket in front of you. Thank you. It's a fair offer, but no thank you. That would be my answer right now as we sit here today. But trust me, this is not the last time we're going to be having this conversation. This is not the last time we will be doing this song and dance about Devin Booker's name being in the news. There will be more times where his name gets invoked. Let me make it about as clear as I can. Devin Booker's not going anywhere. That is not what this summer is about. This summer is about moving on from Beal, moving on from KD, resetting the priorities with Devin Booker as the centerpiece, and setting a course for that vision. You are not going to think about the amount of work that would need to be done. What do we have on the list right now, Producer Evan? New head coach, trading Kevin Durant, figuring out what you're doing with Bradley Beal.
That's those are the big three. And then if you add Devin Booker to that, where do you put yourself?
Here's why you don't add trading Devin Booker to that list. You then are going to have so many of your resources spread all over the place. You're going to mess one of those things up. One of those things you're not going to hit a home run on. And I think do we all agree that if you're going to make this decision and trade Devin Booker, you have to hit a home run, have to hit a grand slam, has to be perfect, have to nail the return, have to nail it, knock it out of the park, home run. You can't have a Luka situation. You can't do what Dallas just did. You can't do it. Have to hit a home run. Have to hit a home run in your head coaching search. Have to. You have to land a superstar head coach. Not in terms of name value, but in terms of who they are as a coach. They have to become a superstar head coach. They have to be the culture and tone setter. You have to land that. You have to land the plane on a Kevin Durant trade. You have to land the plane on what you want to do with Bradley Beal. This can't just be singles. Singles will not get you anywhere. They have to be home runs, every single one of those things. And now you want to add to it another at bat in which you have to hit a home run. The Suns then need to go what would that be? Hiring a head coach, trading Kevin Durant, figuring out what you're doing with Bradley Beal, trading Devin Booker. They'd have to go 4 for 4 with 4 home runs. They'd have to have 4 at bats, and they'd have to hit a home run every single time up. Has it happened in baseball history? I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm sure we could look it up. And if it has, it hasn't been done a number of times. Probably a small handful if it's happened. 4 for 4 with 4 home runs. That is what you're asking the Suns to do if you want them to change their outlook and trade Devin Booker. I'm sorry. I am not getting on board with that this summer at present time. Go 3 for 3. Do what you got to do with this list and then figure it out down the road. But you know everybody's ready. Dallas has got the first overall pick. They're in a win now window. Everybody's ready to make their suggestion about what Dallas should do with the number 1 overall pick. And most of them include trading that pick for a superstar. Want to hear from you today on the program, 480-864-1060. That is the phone number for you to join us. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. We're also now streaming the show on Twitter. So a bunch of different ways for you to watch, listen to, interact with the program. And so we'd love to hear from you throughout the course of the last hour here of the show. When we come back, now with the order set, what are the early mock drafts saying about the Suns and their draft plans? That's next on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
School's out and soccer is in. Celebrate the end of the school year with Phoenix Rising on Friday, May 17th at 7 p.m. as they take on Monterey Bay at home. It's the perfect way to kick off summer, and every fan gets a free Phoenix Rising tote bag at the gates while supplies last. Tickets start at just $15. Grab yours now at phxrisingfc.com. Class dismissed. Let the celebration begin.
9 Inch Nails. Live at Footprint Center, September 16th. Get tickets now at NIN.com. 9 Inch Nails, live in Phoenix. Peel It Back World Tour 2025.
Ooh, Del Taco? Yep, they got these new boxes that are loaded with my faves.
Big boxes, come on, can I get a Del, yeah?
Del, yeah. What was that? Oh, I bring these guys everywhere. Really enhances the experience.
Introducing El Big Boxes from Del Taco. Choose from the $5 Classico, the $7 Mex Faves, and $9 Amerimex box. More food, more flavor, more value. Only at Del Taco.
Del, yeah. Price of participation may vary.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business, with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The spotlight is going to fall on the Mavericks after landing Cooper Flagg in the draft lottery, a future star joining Kyrie and AD. That'll dominate the headlines, and rightfully so. But don't forget about San Antonio. The Mavs, they got the buzz, but the Spurs quietly walked away with something even more valuable. They got options. They already have Victor Wembanyama. They added De'Aaron Fox midseason. They have the Rookie of the Year in Stephon Castle. And they now hold the number 2 pick in a loaded draft class. This isn't a one-player show. Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, take your pick, or don't, because San Antonio also has the ammo to maybe chase a superstar, maybe someone like Giannis. It's not an easy decision, but it's the kind of dilemma every front office dreams of. With Wemby as the cornerstone and the flexibility to either draft or deal, the San Antonio Spurs are no longer rebuilding. It looks like they're reloading. And the rest of the league should be taking notice. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. If you played pickleball in regular sneakers, you know you can pay the price. They don't cut it. And Todd found this out the hard way. We have this great sponsor, Tyrell. They make the best pickleball shoes. So one day, Todd is playing pickleball, and he forgot his Tyrell pickleball shoes. Well, you know what happened? He got hurt. He was playing in some fancy, different shoes that aren't meant for pickleball, and he learned a lesson. Tyrell has everything you need to keep your feet cool. They're tough. They're lightweight. They're so solid on your feet, and you're going to wear and tear on the court, and they're ready to go. Every detail is built to help you play better. Tyrell pickleball shoes. If you want to play longer, feel better, and stop sliding around in those old sneakers, go to TyrellPickleball.com. You can look like a pro. You can play like a pro. It's Tyrol Pickleball Shoes. You spell it Tyrol. Tyrol Pickleball Shoes, the best pickleball shoes, purpose-built for pickleball.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Welcome back into the lunch break. KTUS AM 1060. Let's keep diving into the NBA draft lottery from last night. The Mavs now with the number 1 overall pick, and that has opened the floodgates for everybody to have a mock draft today. I thought it would be nice to have our first kind of gauge as to where they see the Suns going in the 2025 NBA draft. And so I pulled 4 mock drafts: ESPN, CBS Sports, The Ringer, and The Athletic. Some of these did 2-round mock drafts. ESPN and The Athletic both did 2-round mocks, and the CBS Sports and Ringer are just 1 mock. And so let's start with ESPN, who with the 29th overall pick, they had the Phoenix Suns selecting Yaxel Lendenborg, power forward center, UAB and Michigan. Here's what they had to say about him. Lendenborg became a person of interest for NBA teams after a terrific season at UAB, but it's no lock to remain in the draft with significant money on the table from Michigan should he return to college next season. Here's where they talk about him as a player. His two-way productivity, size, and improving skill level hold some appeal as a depth option with developmental upside as a power forward. Lendenborg will need to win teams over on the workout circuit to play his way firmly into the type of range it might take to keep him in this class versus next year's. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't watch a ton of college basketball, so I always defer to the experts and the scouting reports when it comes to this. I'll tell you the thing that stood out to me, though, two-way productivity kind of feels like exactly
The alignment.
Feels like exactly what we're looking for. Feels like this kid,
The alignment.
very aligned with what the Suns might be looking for. Two-way productivity, size,
The alignment.
feels very good there. So that's who they had the Suns taking at 29, and then they had them with the 52nd overall pick, taking Tyrese Proctor, the point guard out of Duke, a junior, with the 52nd overall pick. CBS Sports, their mock draft, had the Suns at pick 29 taking the same player that ESPN had them taking with the 29th overall pick, Yaxel Lendenborg. This is what they had to say. Quote, the top transfer in this year's portals class has options after leaving UAB, among them being a potential first-round pick. He's committed to Michigan as things stand now and remains one of the big names on the fence leading into the withdrawal deadline. Defensive playmaker with true two-way ability on the wing.
The alignment.
A defensive playmaker with true two-way ability on the wing.
The alignment.
Feels like exactly what you're looking for. The Ringer, they had their mock draft. They had the Suns with their with the 29th overall pick, had them taking a point guard out of Auburn, Tahad Pettiford, who was off the bench for Auburn, was part of their second unit. And the breakdown, he's a creator, fearless, but lacks some size. But they called him a chaos agent.
The alignment.
Again, feels like exactly what the Phoenix Suns are kind of looking for. Somebody who can create some chaos.
The alignment.
Feels like somebody
Schmammered,
who can just cause some chaos, help Schmammer and some other teams. And they say that this kid is got some good decision-making, is a technician, said that he's going to need to be a bulldog when guarding the ball, but said that alongside Devin Booker could be a really nice piece. All right, so far so good. I'm happy with what I'm reading in this first check-in with these mock drafts. And then the last one is from The Athletic. They did a 2-round mock, so we have 2 picks for the Suns. They had the Suns at pick number 29, taking a 19-year-old 6'6" guard that plays right now in Germany. He won the MVP of the Under-18 European Championship this past summer, averaging 12.1 points per game. Ben Saraf, 4.3 assists, has a great mid-range game. Says the Suns could use more playmaking and ball handling across the board, and this kid's combo guard tendencies, in addition to his passing vision, would be a strong fit. So they have them going 2 guards. So what should we do with this? Our first check-in and mock draft season, now that we know the order, now that we know where everybody's going to pick. What should we want out of the Suns in the draft?
I think that's exactly what we've talked about. A two-way player who can give you good defense, and I think they need good help inside, help on the perimeter. A guy who, listen, you're not going to get a premium player at 29.
No, this is
in the NBA draft. This isn't the NFL draft.
You're taking one of two things with the 29th overall pick. You're taking somebody who's really young and it's raw, untapped potential, but it has some warts, it has some flaws, maybe an injury question, maybe a reps question. You're projecting, right? Or like Ryan Dunn, great defender, young player. Question was, could he play offense? Or you're taking somebody who's really old, is an older player coming out of college, and they are what they are. And so you're taking them warts and all. That's it. Those are the two buckets when you're picking that far down in the draft. You're not taking a can't miss, slam dunk, blue chip prospect. You're just not doing it. It is a projection, or you're taking somebody like Walter Clayton Jr., the guard out of Florida, who's 22 years old.
And a winner.
Finished product, though. Not really a whole lot of untapped potential there. What you see is what you get.
I would buy a Walter Clayton jersey.
If he got drafted by the Suns, you would get a Walter Clayton jersey?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think who in this draft.
By the way, since you started this segment, a report came out from ESPN. Would you like to hear it?
Is it related to the Phoenix Suns?
It is not, but NBA.
Okay, I love this. That's
I guess
fine.
it is.
No, we're fine.
The alignment.
We're aligned.
Mavericks plan to draft Cooper Flagg. Will not entertain trading number 1 pick.
It's exactly what a team that may be considering trading the number 1 pick would say. If I was a team considering trading the number 1 overall pick, that is exactly what I would tell the media today.
Isn't that what Tennessee told the media and they didn't trade the pick?
Fair. That is exactly what Tennessee said, and they stayed in that spot and they selected Cam Ward. You are correct. But if I was a team that wanted to make sure that I still got phone calls, it's exactly what I would say. I don't know. If I was Nico Harrison, if I was specifically in Dallas's case, I think I would trade the pick. I think I would move the pick for Giannis if he is available. Now, if Giannis isn't available, I don't know if there's a player that's worthy of moving the number 1 overall pick for.
I don't think I would. And
you wouldn't.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
You bring in a guy like Giannis, who has already been in the league for a while, and I understand the win now portion of it. But what you lost in Luka wasn't a player. It was a guy your fan base rallied behind.
Sure.
And you need somebody like that, somebody that you drafted to bring in, and you have had that now fall in your lap in what is a blue chip, what people consider a can't-miss prospect in Cooper Flagg. He gets to be the guy that replaces Luka, the guy that sells jerseys. Yeah, Giannis sells jerseys, but for how long?
You know what I say to your statement about needing a homegrown player that you drafted number 1 overall?
Who cares?
Don't care. I do not care. I am in a win now window there in Dallas. I have to win a championship now. If I want the Luka trade to be looked back on and I at least have a little bit of something that I can hold my hat on, I have to win a championship. I think even if they win a title, people are still going to be ticked off at them. But if I win a championship, I at least have something in the mantelpiece. There's not dust collecting on the shelves there in Dallas. I need players that can help me win right now. Selling jerseys?
Who cares?
If I'm the fan base and you take him number 1 overall?
Who cares?
Because I don't trust you to hold on to him. What's to say that you won't trade him? You traded Luka Doncic. Anything's on the table now. Nothing's off limits.
Who cares?
I do not care that it is, I got the pick. I can take him number 1 overall. He can be a homegrown player for somebody for this fan base to rally behind. Do you think this fan base wants to rally behind anybody right now? They just got their hearts ripped out and stomped on when Luka got traded.
Who cares?
Trade
you know
them-
what that is? I'll be honest with you, though. Trading for Giannis, it's a rebound. It's a rebound. It's like you just broke up with your girlfriend and you need a rebound. And so you go big play. Let's go get Giannis. But you're not playing for the future. You're not looking for the next long-term girlfriend, which you can find in Cooper Flag.
It would be okay to hold on to the number 1 pick and take Cooper Flag if you still had Luka, if you didn't mortgage the farm, if you didn't push all
Then
your...
they wouldn't have the number 1 pick. if they
No,
still
this
had
is their
Luka.
pick.
I know, but they would have been in. It wouldn't have been in the lottery.
Are we sure? They weren't playing great.
And he was dealing with injury.
Right. When they traded him, he was hurt. They weren't playing great. They were kind of hovering.
Could you imagine if they didn't trade Luka and now they're in a spot where they could take Flag? Both feet on the ground, stand by what I said.
Trade the number 1 overall pick. That's what I would do. Again, we are going to have some of those tough conversations. No, clearly what the Mavs have told you is that they're not, you know what they don't want to do? What if we just took a shot? They don't want to do that. They don't want to take a shot.
And I listen, they don't want to make another trade.
No.
You don't think that there's any fear in making a trade right now?
No,
in that
because
room?
you're supposed to be better prepared. It was bad last time.
All I'm saying is you don't think they woke up this morning like, hey, what if the fan base really rallied to get around us getting Cooper Flag, and tomorrow they trade him again for another...
You got to do something. Yeah, no, there's no interest in wanting to do anything. I think Dallas are like, yeah, please. Dallas fans are like, please, just hold on to the pick. Don't make any more bad trades. You did enough. You did enough bad trades.
That's exactly what they're thinking.
Again, Cooper Flag is a great number 1 overall pick. Would be a fantastic selection. Would be great for the city of Dallas. I just don't trust Nico Harrison anymore.
What if they get up there and don't take him?
If they get up there and they do not take him number 1, I mean, just find it. I don't have words.
All right, we're getting distracted.
I don't have anything on the soundboard that fits. I'm trying to think of anything that I could. No, no, do not do that. Back to the Suns. Let's get ourselves back on track here. We went a little sideways. At pick number 29, this team's going to have to take a dart throw. So it's just a question of what kind of dart throw you want. Now, what if we just took a shot? Right, that's all they're doing. They're just throwing darts at the dartboard. You got to do something. You're just trying to see what could work. But you also want somebody
The alignment.
that fits in with what you're doing, that fits in with the alignment, that fits in the vision, that fits in with the culture that you're trying to set. So I need to see what they get back in a Kevin Durant trade. I need to know what this looks like before I'm willing to say they should do this with this pick. But it is a good little first check-in to see what these mock drafts say now that we know the order. When we come back, he got the save last night. He wasn't asked to do it last weekend. So what should the Diamondbacks' plan be at their closer? And yes, we need to talk about it. We'll do it all next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Life is full of bright moments, but sometimes those moments can seem too far away. Trained and caring crisis specialists in Arizona can assist you with any situation, big or small. Free and confidential help is only one text away, day or night. Text the word HOPE to 4HOPE. That's HOPE to 44673. These moments matter, and so do you. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee, Peter Frampton. Let's Do It Again tour, June 25th, Arizona Financial Theater. Grammy winner, the one and only Peter Frampton. On sale now at livenation.com.
dive into summer style and savings during the Memorial Day event at Living Spaces. Enjoy cozy lounging with sofas starting at $350, easy resting with queen beds starting at $195, and special meals with dining sets starting at $295. You'll even find outdoor sets for alfresco fun starting at $595. Plus, pay no interest for 24 months on select purchases with your good credit and enjoy free shipping as soon as next day. Celebrate the start of summer and shop the Memorial Day event only at Living Spaces.
Living Spaces. The savings are heating up at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale. Right now, you can lease a brand new 2025 Mazda CX-50 Hybrid for just $399 a month plus tax for 36 months with just $29.99 down.
And we still have 1.9% financing on some of our most popular models, like the 2025 Mazda CX-50. Go to markmazdascottsdale.com to check out our current selection of inventory not affected by future tariff changes.
The name to remember? Mark Mazda. Mark Mazda. On approved credit, $998.
Stars are shining down on Goldberg and Osborne. The Eagle has more than 2,200 five-star Google reviews from across Arizona, like these.
They go that extra mile to let you know they care. A wonderful experience.
They treat their clients like family, and their professionalism is the best in the business.
They made sure I got a great offer. Like a bulldog, they fought for me.
Well said, everyone. After any accident, remember, the bird is the word. Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
Meet Barkley. When Barkley smells gas, he leaves fast. When Barkley hears hissing coming from a gas appliance, he leaves fast. When Barkley sees dirt or water shooting from the ground, he leaves fast. Barkley then calls 911 and Southwest Gas from a safe location.
Did that dog just grab a phone and dial 911?
Gas lines can be buried anywhere, so remember to call 911 and Southwest Gas.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KTUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Where should we start? Should we start with... Is that where we should start? He didn't play last night, and that's on everybody's mind. I want to get into this closer conversation, but I think everybody was anticipating that when he was recalled from Reno, was joining the team in San Francisco, that we would get to see Jordan Lawlar last night. Now,
as you said last night,
yes,
Torey Lovello hates fun.
Well, I did text you because you asked me why he wasn't in the lineup, and my response to you was because Torey Lovello hates fun. My real answer is that right on right, it's Justin Verlander. I know he's had a so-so start to the season, but just doesn't feel like the best spot to start Jordan Lawlar's 2025 campaign off on. Instead, you get him in there today. He goes up against a lefty in Robbie Ray. It's a better matchup for him. He can be in there. You can get somebody else a day off of rest. So it made sense. Trust me, the moment we got the news, I want to see him in there every day. But I just have to temper my own expectations. He's not going to be in there every day. He's going to rotate through and play a bunch of different positions. They're going to try to find ways to get him involved. He's not going to be an everyday player, at least not right now, at least with their current roster makeup. And so we just have to calm down a little bit. I know everybody's excited. Trust me. We've got on the soundboard. I mean, you can tell how excited we are about this. But he'll be in there today. Very exciting to see what it looks like with him at this big league level. Now, a couple seasons removed from his short stint in 2023. Injuries in the rearview mirror, off to a great start down in Reno this year. Excited to see what he's going to be able to contribute to this team.
Yeah. He's going to bring an energy. He's going to do a lot for what this team needs right now. And I'm excited to see him take a bag. Like, I'm excited to see his speed really play, because you're going to add another guy into this lineup who on any given moment could take a bag. And it just feels like they continue to build on this philosophy of speed wins. By the way, we didn't even touch on this. How about last night in the first inning?
Yeah.
Them calling that a double.
It got stuck under the wall.
It's Corbin Carroll rounding.
I know, but it gets stuck under the wall. You get 2 bases. That's how it works.
It needs to be up a little bit to umpire discretion
on whether or not the runner would have scored.
Yeah,
but
you give him 2 bases, but whether if Corbin's rounding third, he needs to get home.
I know, but you're now making something, instead of it being
a set rule,
you're making it umpire's discretion, and now they have to make that determination in real time. And I'm sorry, I just don't trust umpires to apply that rule consistently enough.
That's fair. Sorry, I got distracted. But.
No, it's fair, but the same thing with the check swing, right? The check swing is totally umpire discretion. Some umpires will say a guy went, same swing 2 weeks later, different umpire, he didn't go. Those close, I just don't know if we should trust umpires enough to make that happen, where instead you can just have a set rule. It's 2 bases. Sorry, luck doesn't go your way. But to your point about the speed, so far down in Reno, he had 13 stolen bases, that being Jordan Lawlar. In 2023, he had 36 stolen bases across the minor league level. In 2022, he had 39 stolen bases. So yeah, to your point, an extra layer of speed that you can add to the list. And by the way, I don't think we touched this. We're just going to go all over the place here this segment. We didn't start the show with this, and I don't think we mentioned it in the open. What a play by Gurriel to snag that ball.
Save the game.
Absolutely saves the game. Game's tied if he misses that ball. The Giants are in position to take the lead if he doesn't catch that ball.
You put the pressure back on in
the bullpen. Yeah.
And they've blown it again. And it's
just an incredible defensive play.
Everything.
Changes everything about what we're talking about today. So Jordan Lawlar, John asks 4 or 5 games every week. 4, I'm probably comfortable saying, is the max that he's going to play right now. I think it's going to be 3 or 4 most days. So he's playing today. The rest of the week, they'll probably find him at least 2 or 3 more starts. And that's fine. That is totally okay. So our first look tonight of Jordan Lawlar with this team in 2025, I'm amped. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to see where he hits in the lineup. I'm ready to see where he plays. Ready to just see all of it, because I legitimately think this guy can be a major contributor and can help this team get to where they want to get to in 2025. Shelby Miller was the guy on the mound in the 9th inning. He was the guy tasked with holding a 1-run lead, and he passed the test. He held the 1-run lead. He was back in the role, and it all went according to plan. But that was the first time we've seen Shelby Miller since he was in the game in the 9th inning against the New York Mets. That was his last 9th inning appearance. Since then, Kevin Ginkel got a turn at it. Was an up-and-down roller coaster ride. Ryan Nelson got a turn at it, a 6-out save on Saturday night against the Dodgers. So it has been a revolving door down there for the Diamondbacks in terms of who their closer is going to be. Are we back to this being Shelby Miller's spot? Certainly, if we're doing this merit-based, after the outing that he had last night, you certainly think he's going to get another crack at it. You certainly think he's going to be the guy that this team turns to in the 9th inning. But what if he falters again? What if he slips up again? Is the revolving door, is the merry-go-round going to continue to go? At some point, you got to find a guy, you got to stick to a guy.
That was last night the cleanest 9th inning they've had in a long time. Even wins. It
was clean. It was never a doubt. Once Shelby Miller got in there, it was 1, 2, 3, 9 pitches, take care of business, move on.
Yeah, I think that earns you the role as closer until he falters. But I'm with you. You just need one guy and be like, hey, I need you to focus on the 9th. And right now they don't have that, and part of that's injuries and everything else. But when you have Ginkel and Miller and none of them know which one's going out in the 9th, it becomes a little tough.
It then makes Torey Lovullo's job difficult to manage how he's going to get however many outs he needs to get from his bullpen. Just creates more chaos. And that's an area where you don't want chaos. You want stable, steady rolls. And the only reason why somebody's not available to you is because they've just thrown a bunch recently and they're just out. You want to be able to trust all of the guys that you have out there in the bullpen, and we can't say that right now. We just can't say that about this group. Great performance from Shelby Miller last night, but now we got to stack a couple of these together. So my guess, Shelby's now back in this role. Shelby, after being given the 9th last night, 9-pitch inning, getting the save, making it look easy. The next save opportunity is going to be his, but I really think this is going to be a case-by-case basis. It's going to have to be, okay, you got to save this time out. You've earned another opportunity. You make a save, you pitch well the next time out. Okay, now you earn yourself a little more leash. You earn yourself a couple more opportunities. And I think that's the way that Torrey's going to have to manage this, at least until Justin Martinez is back. Because I think he's going to be the first of the 2 relievers that comes back for this team. Right now, it's going to be that it is game by game. And that's not any way for a bullpen to operate. But right now, Shelby Miller's the closer. But he does not have a firm hold on that job. It is going to be situation to situation. You do well in the next spot, boom, you're going to get another chance. You don't, next man up. Unfortunately, I think that's the way he has to manage, because you got a team right now that's hovering around 500, 2 games up, 2 games above 500 after the win last night. You need every single one of these games. You can't give games away right now. So it's a really tough puzzle to try to solve. And with Shelby in the role last night, at least it feels like it's going to be his for the foreseeable future. But could see Kevin Ginkel in a couple of days, depending on how things go. Could see Ryan Nelson get another go at it. I mean, I think you're at a point right now that until you get Justin Martinez and AJ Puck back, you're just throwing darts at a dartboard, hoping that something sticks for a decent period of time. One more segment for us here today on the program, the leftovers, all the stories that we did not get to throughout the course of the show. We'll do it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh, my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays, 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Feeling uneasy about your financial future? You need a partner that helps lighten the load. Welcome to Global Credit Union. It means early payday, your paycheck up to 3 days early with direct deposit, accounts with no NSF fees, and a mobile app with tools to help you manage your family budget. At Global, we take member care seriously with branches near you and a 24/7 U.S.-based call center staffed by real people. Join us at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union.
Breaking Benjamin. Stay forever. And 3 Days Grace. Live. October 8th at Desert Diamond Arena with special guest Return to Dust. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace, presented by the Big Red Radio.
You wanted to see me, Ron? Yeah. See that woman sitting there? When did we hire her? Oh, we didn't hire her. It's Take Your Mom to Work Day. I've never heard of that. Saw it on the internet. Oh, boy.
Hey, guys. It's neat that Gary has a mom and all, but shouldn't we be talking about Alaskifications?
That's why I brought Mom in. I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but she can't promise a 1-year no-breakdown guarantee the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope. And she doesn't promise lower energy bills the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope. And she doesn't make sure people's air conditioner lasts longer than average, the way Alaskan AC does. Nope. But she sings.
If you want your AC to last all summer long, with an Alaskification, it will always blow strong.
Wow.
Double wow.
Thanks, Mom.
Anything for the president of the company. How long have you two boys worked for Gary?
Gary! Hey, gotta go. Promise to take Mom to lunch. Bye.
If you want your AC to last all summer long, with an Alaskification, it will always blow strong.
Schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
ASU baseball continues here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils as they look to face off against Grand Canyon University. ASU knows that every game counts as they start the final week of the regular season and are ready to give it their all against the Lopes. The voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, will have the call live. It's ASU versus GCU this Tuesday night. Pregame at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch at 6:30 right here on KDUS AM 1060 and online at KDUS1060.com/Sun Devils.
to wrap up the Tuesday edition of the Lunch Break. Chris Schubert with you. Jim Rome's coming up next. The leftovers, all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. Producer Evan has them. I react to them. The show is yours, my friend. Take it away.
All right. We'll start with football. Trey Hendrickson, is upset with Cincinnati and tells them that he will not play without a new contract.
I mean, it's okay. You've never made any mistakes before on the program.
Schmammered.
I mean, you're okay. Everyone gets a freebie.
Yeah, that one's on me.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, I guess that auto-corrected to Trey Henderson.
So you wrote. Okay, I see.
I wrote this out because I'm not looking at the story directly.
Schmammered. Yeah,
and so I think it just auto-corrected.
Yeah, Trey Hendrickson gave a statement yesterday sharing his displeasure with the way things are going in his contract negotiations, or lack thereof, because he says that the team has not spoken to him since the draft. And then I believe met with the media this morning for about 25 minutes or so and continued to be very angry with the way things are going, made it very clear, am not playing this year for the Cincinnati Bengals under this contract. It is not happening. I will not play under this deal. Said he was happy for the other guys, the two wide receivers who got paid. He was part of a big three that Cincinnati was trying to pay. Said he got a text from Zach Taylor kind of threatening him that he was going to be fined if he didn't show up to camp, and was annoyed by that. Look, all of the noise around this points towards him playing someplace else next season, but I've seen situations worse than this end up with the two sides coming together, coming to a deal, and then they're playing next season.
Yeah, I just would be shocked that they dished out this much money this offseason.
It's a lot.
Like, that's not a Cincinnati Bengals move by any means.
John says that in addition to
Schmammered.
In addition to making mistakes with names, that hang-ups are also forgiven as well when you hang up on somebody.
There it is again. Listen, they're little.
Yeah,
little mistakes.
I know, but if you have a bunch of them in a row, they start to add up and then they become a big problem. I'm just saying.
I think
like this Trey Hendrickson situation, bunch of little issues, not getting this contract done sooner rather than later has led to this big blow up.
And they keep pushing it off.
Keep pushing it off. Yeah. Not addressing the real issue.
Schmammered.
And things like this happen.
Schmammered. Speaking of addressing the real issue.
Okay. I don't know where this is going.
After not being able to pitch at all for the United States in the World Baseball Classic, they've added Paul Skeens this year, who confirmed he will be playing for the USA.
Okay. So we're starting to get some roster announcements as to who's going to participate. Aaron Judge has been named the captain of the team. He will be participating, and now Paul Skeens will be on the list. Team USA lost the last World Baseball Classic, so I'm sure there is some national pride of wanting to. Baseball's America's pastime, right? Wanting to win the World Baseball Classic. They lost the last one. So I think you're going to see some of the big names show up, especially on the pitching side, because they didn't last time around. So I think you're going to see some of the big names on the pitching side show up. I think Mark DeRosa, the coach, the manager, who's going to be there for his second stint, is going to put the full court press on some of these big name pitchers to participate. And good. It's good for the game of baseball. It's good for the growth of the game. So good. I'm excited about this. Did not see that this morning, so excited to see Paul Skeens a part of the team.
Yeah, I think that's going to be awesome because every time he goes to the mound, it's electric. Like even last night, they were playing your Mets. And you said that he did not have his best stuff.
Still impossible.
He's still impossible to figure out.
Did not have his best stuff. Still threw 98, 99 on the inside corner to both lefties and righties. And it was just like, what are you supposed to do with that? So, yeah, he's excellent.
Yeah, I don't know how you deal with that. Okay, last night we had two different game fours.
Yes.
Knicks take a 3-1 lead, and the Timberwolves take a 3-1 lead.
The story of both of those series are injuries might be the thing that do those respective teams in. The Celtics lost Jason Tatum. I don't believe, at least at this point, we know the severity of the injury.
We don't, but it looked bad.
It looked bad. There was a initial fear of an Achilles. I heard the coach, Joe Mazzulla, talk about the right foot. So don't have an official diagnosis there. And, yeah, they blew the 2 20-point leads in the first two games of this series at home. So that's obviously going to be something that does them in. But they were in line to potentially steal another game in New York and take this series back to Boston 2-2, and then they lose Tatum, and it's just the Knicks, Jalen Brunson, man, special stuff. And everybody worried before the playoffs in New York land, because I'm familiar, got a lot of friends They did not like the path that they were going to have, needing to play Detroit, the physical style of basketball, needing to go through Boston. They did not like the way they matched up, and they are now just one win away from being in the Eastern Conference Finals and potentially facing an Indiana team that they almost beat a year ago, and they probably would have beaten if not for Jalen Brunson getting hurt. So the fans of the Knicks may start to be seeing visions of participating in the NBA Finals. And then in the other one, no Steph Curry. Minnesota seems to have a handle on that series.
Yeah, as far as the Knicks go, like they did it again. And again, they bullied the Celtics. I think they outscored them by 27 in the paint last night. And then, again, they got down to crunch time. And even before Tatum went down, they just had them taking bad shots again.
There's just a bulldog mentality that you get with the Nova Knicks. There's a bulldog mentality you get from Mikal Bridges on the defensive side of things. We know this. We saw it here in Phoenix. Jalen Brunson just brings in, as the game gets later, as the situation gets more and more pressurized, he gets better and better. You can't say that about many athletes in sports where in those big moments, they rise to an even better level than their already great level. I mean, I saw there's some statistics coming out of what Jalen Brunson does after the Knicks lose in the postseason. And it's like a guaranteed 30-point performance at a minimum. He is excellent in these types of moments. Bad loss the last time out. They need to win this one, take a commanding 3-1 lead, and that's exactly what they get. They deliver, and Brunson delivers. And Josh Hart, McBride, Mitchell Robinson, Cat even brings the intensity. I mean, it's a team that's just firing on all cylinders right now at exactly the right time.
All right. So we have the NFL schedule release, but comes with all the international games.
Yeah, we got those today, didn't we?
Yeah. So we got some of them today. We have every game except one team is what the story I'm reading here. So in week 1, we know the Chargers are in Brazil on September 5th.
We don't know who they're playing, though.
We do not know who they're playing.
Okay. I can't predict that game since I don't know who they're playing.
In week 4, we have Steelers, Vikings in Dublin.
Minnesota win.
In week 5, we have Vikings and Browns in London.
Vikings win, just dominating the European circuit.
Week 6, Broncos versus Jets in London.
Broncos win.
Jags, Rams in London.
Rams win.
Falcons and Colts in Berlin.
I'm sorry to the people of Berlin. Falcons, Colts in Berlin. Are you kidding me? You're joking, right?
No, that's a real
Falcons,
game. Falcons,
Colts in Berlin, Germany. I mean, what was it last year in Munich? Giants, Panthers. So this is an upgrade.
Oh, that was a good game.
This is an upgrade from that. This is an upgrade from Giants, Panthers.
That was the one that put Bryce back in the map.
But my goodness, apologies to the people of Germany. Falcons win.
Okay. Taking the Falcons.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know who's going to be playing quarterback for the Colts in week 10.
Does it matter? Does it matter if it's Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones? Does it really matter?
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
For fantasy purposes.
No, it doesn't matter.
Week 11, Dolphins and Commanders in Spain. And that will wrap it up.
That's my favorite game on the list so far.
Yeah, this is the first game they've ever done in Spain.
I don't really care where they play the game because I you know where I'll be? On my couch watching the game. So I don't care where they play the game. But in terms of matchup, quality of matchup, I think that's the best one.
I'll take the Commanders.
So will I.
Yeah.
Because two Vikings wins, a Broncos win, a Falcons win, and a Commanders win.
You took that game as the most interesting. I have some other ones. That Rams-Jags game in week 7 could be interesting.
No, you're betting too much on the Jags that they need to prove it before I'm willing to give them that kind of credit.
The Steelers-Vikings in Dublin. That one could be interesting because the Steelers play the type of football that feels like it could trip up the Vikings.
There's a motto for that game. That game's being played in Ireland.
Yeah.
What if we just took a shot? A lot of alcohol is going to be consumed there in Dublin.
100%. I don't think any of them are going to be shots and all of them are going to be Guinness, but sure.
All right. You didn't have to do that. You saw what I was doing. What if we just took a shot? You saw what I was trying to do there, and it made at least somewhat sense. And you're just like, well, I don't know if it's going to be shots. I think they're just going to take Guinness. All right. You know what?
Both feet on the ground. Stand by what I said.
All right. I stand by what I said. Okay. You know what? I have a better drop. You know what's going to happen?
Schmammered.
Across the board in Dublin.
That would have been better.
That would have been better.
Schmammered.
You know what? For a brief moment, I had a lapse, and I forgot.
Schmammered.
I had that instead of this. What if we just took a shot? I apologize.
I'll be honest. Most of these teams are going to get schmammered. Schmammered. Yep. This Chargers in Brazil game, they can't give the Brazil another good game. Like last year, you gave them Eagles Packers. They don't deserve another good one.
And apparently, this one's going to be on YouTube, free to watch on YouTube.
Wow, that's gonna be crazy.
I saw that this morning.
Yeah.
Schedule release tomorrow. We'll react to it on Thursday. I'm ready. I'm excited. Hope everybody has a great rest of their Tuesday. Jim Rome is coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. We'll talk to you tomorrow, everybody. See ya.